Sarah, thank you very much for joining us and welcome to the podcast. So I guess just for context, in 30 to 60 seconds, how would you describe it is what you do?
So I am a medical esthetician. I've been in the industry for 10 years and counting, which has flown by. I feel I am very passionate about helping people with their skin and their journey. What I will say that is a little bit different. I'm not transactional. I'm not, and Kelly, I think we chat all the time. So it's not, let's do your facial and see you later. Hi and bye. I'm checking in on you the next day. I'm seeing how your skin's responding to everything. I'm in the journey with you together. We're in it together.
Gotcha. And you are Toronto based and
yes, Etobicoke specifically, but also Yorkville, Toronto. Yes.
Gotcha. And what is the name of your business? Do you like
Skin by Sarah.
Skin by Sarah. Okay, perfect. That is helpful. So we'll get into the business and the story and all that, but we always start with some rapid fire, to get things. So the first question is, what is your favorite movie or movie you watched the most?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a lot of favorites, but I will say one just off the top of my head. Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood. I love him. I love his voice. I wish I could sit down and have a coffee with him.
Yes.
He's a cool dude.
Yes, that's a very good movie and one that I have not thought about in a long time. I feel like I watched it once and then I
definitely watch it. He's a grumpy old man and hates his neighbors and ends up really caring for them. Huge plot twist. I think it's a great movie and I just love him.
Yes. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good answer. Do you have a book that is a favorite or like a book that inspired you, one that is memorable?
Yeah, and I'm actually reading it right now. Let Them, Mel Robbins. I think it's very relatable. She's very inspiring. I listen to her podcast and I'm reading the Let Them book. If you haven't, you should read
it. Because actually our last guest said their favorite book was Let Them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels like maybe it's a sign I should.
You should read it.
It's about just, like letting them is it as explanatory?
Let them and then let me. She teaches you both things. Very relatable in your personal life and your work life. I think anyone can relate to somewhere in the chapters. You will be like, oh my God, yeah, that happened to me, or that makes so much sense. And she's raw, she's real. She started her business off of nothing too. So it's very inspiring.
I will say, I feel like I hear a lot of girls talk about the book. I don't know if I've gotten guys who say, because I feel like guys are like,
I actually haven't either.
Guys are like lock-in theory. Like it means the same, like which is different verbiage. It's like just lock in, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like maybe
I'll follow up with you in a couple months and see if you read the book.
I was gonna say, I think this is a sign that it probably would be like good for the universe if men also read it.
Yes.
I think I'll write my own called Lock In. It's just the same idea. I'll just take it and I'll be like, on the cover, I'll be like, I don't know, something manly. I'll be like, this is cool.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So let them. Okay. Do you have a favorite podcast? Are you a podcast person?
I've been getting into them more recently. I will say also I listen to Mel Robbins.
Okay.
Also Alex Cooper, Call Her Daddy. That's always a good laugh.
Okay. Well, when you pointed to the camera, I thought you were gonna be like, I listened to Not Quite Ready. I was like, I was like, oh no, Call Her Daddy. For a moment, I was like, oh wow. No.
No, I did. I have listened to a couple of your podcasts.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, so Mel Robbins and Call That. Okay. If you were to receive a $20,000 grant, what would you do with it?
Ooh, personal or business?
Either or. Actually, let's say business? And then let's say personal. Yeah, you can do both.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably put a good chunk of paying off some equipment that I bought.
Yes.
I think that would be nice. I'd be like, okay, let's clear that out. And then I can focus on on some other things. So I think majority of that, because 20 grand these days really isn't much.
That's like
So,
one grocery trip and so on.
yeah. So definitely I would use it towards paying off some equipment. Yeah.
Okay. And personally, what would you do with 20 grand if you had to spend it in like a week?
Ooh, I would go on a nice trip. Yeah, take me around Europe. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been to Europe.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good answer. When you need to lock in and do some work and like really get focused, do you have like a process? Do you listen to music? Is there something that you do?
Yeah. I have R&B music in the background, and I just sit on my couch in my comfies and get everything done that I need to do. Usually I like to do in the morning, get it done right away, and that's it.
Okay. So is this like do you have like a favorite R&B artist, or is this like a Spotify playlist?
It's a Spotify playlist. I talk to Alexa, and if I say it too loud, she'll start playing it right now. But I just have to play R&B hits. So that's I play it low because I need to distract and focus on what I'm doing. But that's my routine. Nothing crazy.
And what about when you're locking out and you're like, I've been working too much, I need to stop focusing on my work?
Yes, I just need to move my body. I feel like working with clients can be a little bit heavy. At times, I really pick up on people's energy. So sometimes I'm like, okay, go for a walk, clear my head, go do some yoga, just move my body in some way. Yeah.
Okay, so just get active.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if I need like a minute to like zen out, I'll like light an incense and just kind of meditate there for a little bit, think about my day, and then just like let it go.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, well, that's the rapid fire. Those are good answers. So yes, now we can actually get into serious stuff. So, so your business, Skin by Sarah. So you mentioned that you've been in the skin industry for about 10 years. Do you recall a moment when you knew that you wanted to start a business and this was the industry you wanted to go in? Like, was there anything you can think of that like a moment in time where you're like, I really know I want to start something on my own?
When I was in school for medical aesthetics, which I had no idea I wanted to get into skin, no idea.
Yes.
I actually took fashion management right out of high school. I went to George Brown, took the 2-year program because I had no idea what I wanted to do, and ended up in Holt Renfrew in Yorkville, which was a fun experience, and then Saks Fifth Avenue in Sherway, which I worked for a couple years. But funny enough, I was not even in the fashion department. I went straight into makeup, which led me to being around the skincare. And luckily, that was a great company in the sense that they would host product PKs, they were called, product knowledge.
Okay.
And that's also the time I started going through some acne myself. I was like, what the hell is going on with my skin? I started attending the PKs and just hearing about ingredients, and it was all like the luxury brands like Chanel, La Mer, La Prairie. So that was fascinating. And then that's what led me to going to Canadian Beauty College and hearing about what programs they had to offer. And I signed up for the full-time 10-month program, and I never looked back. I fell in love with it. And some of my teachers were like encouraging me to start right away. And I did. I went out and I bought the basic equipment, a bed, a steamer, a trolley, a microdermabrasion machine, and I started in my basement. I convinced my parents to set up in the basement and just take family and friends, and kind of was seeing where that would go, and it kicked off.
Okay, so basically, right from the start, you were self-employed.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that typical? From the
start, I was self-employed. Pardon?
Is that typical for like?
No.
This no.
No.
So yeah, what gave you like the confidence or the idea like to go this route as opposed to just getting a job with another company?
I hate working for people in full transparency. I've had some jobs where I'm just like I can't do this.
Yes.
Also, just the support I had at the school, my teachers were like, you have something special. I think you just need to go for it. Them pushing me, and then also having my parents' support, which ideally you have all these grand ideas and you want everything right away when you're starting. You're like, oh, I need to do this, this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
But my parents are like, no, you're not turning the guest bedroom into the spa room yet.
Yes.
Just because you have 2 clients. I'm like, well, why not? They're like,
Yes.
you can just set up in the basement. I was like, okay, fine. And then once I built an Instagram and started posting, strangers were coming to my house. It's like people were coming and I was like, oh my God, okay, this is great. This is great. And I was posting more. And from there, after it got to a point where I was like, okay, too many people are kind of coming in and out of the house. And it's the house I grew up in. My sisters are home. My parents are home. Sometimes we're in and out of the house, everyone. I started renting a space in a salon called Belle Beauty Boutique in like Mississauga area.
Okay.
And just to speed that up, was working there for a bit. That was lovely. That was great. COVID happened, which made me pack everything up because it was a huge unknown at the time when it first started. Everyone was like, what's going on here? Are we allowed to work? Can we work? All that jazz. That led me to a studio in Yorkville, Radford Studio. And I wasn't planning to stay there very long. I was like, you know what? I'll just stay here during COVID. I actually took their front desk position. I took whatever was available. And they found out I was a medical esthetician and they were like, what are you doing in the front? I'm like, I just took whatever jobs you had. And they're like, well, we're going to move you. I was like, okay, great. So I get to do what I love here too. So that's when I started working for a business. So which was interesting because usually it's the other way around.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah.
And then and that's what you're currently doing both. Like you do your own and then you also
doing both. Yes. I was there full time. I've been there for 4 years. So I started off full time and I was doing my clients on the side while I was building up. Now it's actually the opposite. I've very busy at home and kind of my focus is my home business at the moment. And I only go in once a week now to the studio to just keep in touch with clients there and get to see my colleagues. And it's a fun environment and it gets to break up the week. So.
Gotcha. So one thing I want to go back to, so you'd mentioned when you were doing your schooling that your teachers kind of encouraged you to do your own thing. Mm-hmm. And you said that's not very common. So what do you think it was that I guess gave them that confidence in you to like, for them to push you more than they would like a typical student?
Yeah, I think they just saw the confidence that I had in the practical part. Like in the morning was all theory. It's all textbook stuff. You're in the class. All the afternoon was hands-on and I would just get right in there and I wasn't scared. Like some people were very hesitant to work on, even myself, because I have sensitive skin. They'd be like, oh, I don't want to work on Sarah. She has sensitive skin. I'm like, this is how we're going to learn, guys. Go ahead, fuck up my face. I'll tell you you're hurting me. Like, it's how we're going to learn. So I really loved it. There was actually one part, we had to learn manicure, pedicure. I was sick a lot for that part. I did not like that. I don't like people's feet. I don't want to touch people's feet. So there was things that I did learn that I'm like, hey, this is not for me, but the skin one is where I thrived for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So no pedicures.
No freaking pedicures.
Yeah. So then when you finished school then and you started on your own and you mentioned you bought the equipment right away, you set up in your parents' place. How did you get your first customer?
Family and friends. So I was really just doing family and friends. And for like $50, like super cheap, like just pay for like some of the supplies just so I could practice. So it was just my sisters, my parents, some of our family friends. And after I got comfortable with learning the different skin types, like someone that has severely dry skin, someone that has acne, someone who's aging, someone who has rosacea, I was like, okay, I'm confident enough to open this up.
Yeah. So that moment in time when you started, how long, so it sounds like $50, I wouldn't know, but it's a big discount from what you typically offer. So like, how long did you like run doing that, like with the cheaper pricing for family and friends?
Not long. Once I would say a couple of months. And then once I opened it up to Instagram, I actually created like a service list and all that. And then I was doing facials for $80, microdermabrasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's market. I don't know.
Oh, like regular, an average
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now for microdermabrasion would be between 130 to 150.
Okay, so you were still doing it a bit cheaper,
Yes.
but you stepped it up.
I stepped it up. Yeah. I
Yeah,
created
yeah.
a price list, a service menu, and all that. So yeah.
Okay,
And I
gotcha.
set like it was a full little spa room. That was in the
Gotcha.
basement. It was really cute.
Yeah. No, that is something that that we have definitely seen in a trend with people we've had on the podcast, is that like early on, it's about getting your family and friends to be your customers and either doing it for free or for a really low rate. And like it almost seems like without fail, that's like how everyone gets started.
Yeah. You
Yes.
just have to get comfortable. Once you
Yeah.
get comfortable, it's good. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, and I think it goes against, at least like a lot of my knowledge is coming from like business school, big companies, where it just makes it seem like, oh, you got to go raise like $100 million in, like you have this huge marketing budget. But it really seems like, I don't know, you're counting on, I guess, like your cohort of people with you to help get you going is like really sort of a prerequisite to get moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you move from that stage of family and friends, you mentioned you started up an Instagram, and that's when you started to get customers and you were able to transition into higher prices, and probably that's when your business really started. So what do you remember about those days when like you actually started to get customers that like you had no prior connection with? Like what did you do to, I guess, have these customers find you?
Just posting on Instagram, I would get DMs. And then I actually like to do phone consultations before actually bringing someone into my house, making sure
Yeah.
making sure we're all normal here.
Yes.
That's also a downfall of like starting right away from home. It's like, it's scary. Like you're having people come into your house. You never know. So I would always like to do a phone call first, just to see what they're all about, hear their skin concerns, all that, and then book their facial. I always do a complimentary skin consultation. I think that's
Okay.
important.
And that's just something you do over the phone, and that's where you just ask them questions.
Yes, or even in person or FaceTime, whatever. I give the options. I still do that till this day. I think it's super important. I want to get to know your skin, so that way when you're here for your appointment, we can get right into it.
Gotcha. And what was your strategy for Instagram? Because it's one thing to post, but it's another thing to get people to want to give you their money based on what you're posting.
Yeah.
Like, was there something you were doing specifically?
I was posting before and afters.
Yeah.
And I feel like I really should do that again. I'm not great with social media.
Yes.
I have a girl, Jenna, she's great and she helps me with all that. But I was posting before and afters, and no filters, nothing. Like you could see the glow up in people's skin, and that's what got me business.
And were you tagging it like in Toronto, or like how did you get it on the radar of people to like actually see it who could be potential customers? Like, do you even know?
Well, so I'll rewind for a second. When I was
Sure.
at Saks and I was a makeup artist, I had some followers on that account.
Okay.
So I actually switched that account to revamped it to my skin one. So I had some followers there already. So it didn't start from
Gotcha.
zero. There were some
Gotcha.
followers. So it was those kind of people who started coming. I would say those are like my first few clients that I've done their makeup before, or I helped them at the store before. Yeah.
Yes. So then,
it didn't start
yes.
yeah.
Gotcha. So then when you started to post, they were able to see it, and then that's when
Exactly. Because I work from home, I don't just like post Etobicoke, here, come to my house. I don't ever post that. So yeah, that's how it started.
Gotcha. And then, so from that point, would you say like you steadily kind of increased your customer base, like since you started? I know COVID was in there, which probably threw things off a bit, but did it just sort of like, was it like a flywheel effect where like people were mentioning it to their friends, or like what became your most effective marketing strategy once you got that initial traction? Yeah.
Word of mouth. So because I'm based in Etobicoke, this community is very, very well knit. And people just tell their friends, their cousins, their husbands. And over the last 2 years, it's grown. Like I'm very busy from home. The next couple years, I'm thinking I want to have a small little studio and get someone that I can train to help me, because it's been getting very busy and I'm blessed for that. And it's honestly all word of mouth.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yes. And I guess this is maybe because you're talking about the studio and things like that. So maybe this is taking a little bit of a step backwards. But so the path that led you to go to school, to do this business makes sense. But when you decided to go it on your own, did you do anything of like, was there any process for testing the business plan, or like testing if there's customers, or did you just know based on the conversations with your teachers that like, there's something here and there'll always be customers? Like, was there any sort of process you went through for that?
So in school, we did do a business plan.
Yeah.
So when I was working on my business plan, I actually made it very realistic. Like, I was actually doing it already.
Yes.
So I think that's what just got my wheels turning. And then all the support I was getting, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to do it. If I keep doubting myself, if I keep prolonging the process, I'm not going to start. So I went for it.
And I guess what gave you that confidence at that point in time? Like, was that something that you had to like cultivate and like work on it? And like, because we've talked to some people, they say like, yeah, I was, scared shitless, but I like, this was inspirational to me, or this helped me, or whatever. Or was that just kind of like your natural inclination where you're like,
no, I was scared. I was scared and I doubted a lot. And that can really flood your brain for sure. But I was really passionate about it. And when you're passionate about something and you really want to do it, that's how you can make something happen. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And were there any moments after you started where you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done this. Like I should, go back and get a job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because there are ups and downs in our industry. If you're a hairstylist, if you're an injector, if you're an esthetician, after the holidays, usually people are, I need to save my money. I need to pay off my visa. I'm going to be in trouble by my husband. Like, there's always ups and downs depending on the time of year. So that's what's scary. You're like, oh no, what if it's going to be dead this month? What do I do? Okay, how am I going to make up for it? Do I have to do a promotion? So that's where creativity comes into play. And sometimes if I know I'm expecting, I'm like, okay, I don't have as many bookings this week. What can I do to get some clients? And I'll sometimes actually just put together a little text message and send it to a few of my clients, being like, hey, have a promo going on for these 2 weeks. And okay, perfect, booked. Everyone loves a promo.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really helpful tip to someone that's starting. I also did a lot of promotional pricing when I started off as well, to just get people in the door.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think that's, I was going to say, I think that's even how I started seeing you. I think you were offering like 40% off for new clients or something like that.
Tuesdays that we did.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. Like that's, again, everyone loves a promo.
Everybody loves a promo.
And then I went and I was like,
because then you have some clients that are waiting for the promotion. So they're like, oh, I'm going to wait for the next one.
No, and I think just hopping in here as well, because I know you were saying like, obviously like word of mouth has been like such a big thing for you. And I was actually saying to Steven before the call, I was like, the one thing with Sarah is like, you can tell she gets joy when like you respond well to a treatment, or your like skin is like, I was like, you can tell she loves it. Or like I remember like I've come in a couple extra times because you're like, oh, there was like that like thing on my eye that you like, you were the one where was like, come in, let me give you this extra treatment. Let me do this thing. So is that something that like you, because again, you're saying like that your professors kind of saw that like passion kind of thing, but it's like, I think that comes from passion, but also just being like good at being like in a client servicing situation. 100%. So like that client service side, I guess, was that just kind of innate to you? Or was it kind of something also been like a skill that you're like,
I think I've always
to like work on and grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it came into my work as well, because if someone had a treatment, let's say, and they had a reaction, I got I'm like, we're going to do everything to help, which I've had those things happen before. I'm not perfect. I've made errors, especially when first starting. Use a wrong ingredient on someone, reacted with their skin. I won't be able to sleep at night unless I can help you. So if someone's unhappy, I do whatever I need to do to get their skin to the place. And I feel like not a lot of people do that. A lot of people have shared experience going to other places and they'll be like, oh, that didn't work for you. Oh, it's just your skin. Like they'll blame it on you. I'm like, oh, no. Like walk me through what you did. I want to know everything that happened leading up to this moment so we can figure out together how we're going to fix your skin.
Yeah. Well, no, and I think it kind of comes back to, I think you were saying at the beginning, like the transactional kind of like side of it is like again, I'm a client of yours. We will text and you will check in and you'll follow up kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, that's time outside of, the hour I'm paying for a facial kind of thing. But then the return on that is it's like, oh, she cares. She's invested.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sarah's my go-to gal for facials kind of thing. So it's like, it is like, you don't quote unquote get paid for that time you take outside of the facial time, but I think it does find its way to come back kind of 100%. Thing.
I'm very invested in when I'm in the journey with you, I'm in it with you. And I tell people, I give everyone my cell phone number. I'm like, call me if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any type of reaction. Like it's your face, it's your skin. So it's not something that you can mess around with.
Yeah.
I take it seriously, but I don't take myself too seriously.
So beginning to piece together how you got that early traction, you went to school, you were encouraged by your teachers, you started your business, you got friends and family, then you started to post on Instagram. What did you find, I guess, beyond that, like sort of, let's call it the first 6 months, 1 year? Like, was there anything that you employed, whether it's marketing strategies or like a new business line or anything like that, that sort of helped you grow? Like, is there anything, a decision you made or something you did that you can look back on and be like, that was a bit of a game changer for my business?
I would say just posting like trending things to catch people's attention. At the time when I was first starting, a really big thing were those jelly masks. If you guys have seen, I'm sure on Instagram or something, where you mix basically like a powder and water together and it turns into a gel and you cover the entire face, even the eyes. And it's an experience. And when I posted those before and after, people be like, oh my God, I need to try that. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. So just like seeing what's popular out there, what clients want, and bringing that in, essentially.
Yes.
And posting it and talking about it.
Yes. And like, how often then are you, I'm not sure how many like different service lines you offer, but how often are you like, I guess, adding services to your business?
So that's a good question. In school, you learn the basics, but I've over the years have taken courses myself in like microneedling, dermaplaning. I flew to New York to take a proper gua sha course because there's so much misinformation online. I'm always keeping up with things that I really am interested in and that are staples in the skincare world. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's something where like, you're kind of have to like on an ongoing basis, keep yourself,
always,
educated. Yes.
Always educating. And I would say once a year, I bring in like a different kind of service. So I'm always adding. And then if I'm like, oh, you know what, that service isn't really doing it anymore, then phase it out, bring in something new. So for example, almost a year ago, I invested in the hydrofacial machine, which is a big one. It's a great one. I've loved that, working with that device at the studio in Yorkville. So I needed one here. So I got that here. And I invested in a really good microneedling pen, DP4. So those were my big purchases almost a year ago. And I'm so glad I got them because they're amazing.
Yeah. So, and what year was it that you started operating your business?
2018.
So 2018. So then obviously COVID happened. So what do you remember from that time? Did you have to shut down all business operations? Like, were you kind of like, oh shit, I, wish I had a normal job? Like, what was that time like for you?
That sucked, and like sucked for so many people and affected so many businesses. It was an awful time. That's when I packed up all the stuff from the salon I was renting space from. And I would just be working from home when I could. So it was like that limbo, like, okay, what could take you? Okay, never mind. Which led me to applying at Radford because I'm like, I need a steady job. I need a paycheck. I need to work. So yeah, that's what led me there.
Okay, so basically you had to like shut down like what
Yes.
you were doing. Yeah.
Oh, there was periods of time where absolutely I couldn't work because I'm working with people so close in proximity, right?
Well,
so.
and also too, like it's like I feel like, you know, there are some services at some point that opened up like getting your eyebrows waxed because you can wear a mask kind of thing. But it's like a facial in particular is you need access to the face. So it's like it was really probably tough.
Yeah. And I will say, there was some times where people would be like, listen, I need a facial. So if you don't give a shit, I don't give a shit. I'd be like, come on over. Just
I look back on that time and I'm like, that was crazy. Like how we were. And then I talked to some people I know who are like in the US. So I'm like, yeah, it was like no different for like me over those 2 years. I was like, man, we like lost
they maybe
so
had
much.
like a month where it was like a little annoying.
It was such a weird time.
I know.
Really
I know.
weird time.
I think about how many businesses that just like unnecessarily got created. It's like, man.
I know. And like a lot of like family businesses that really hit, and so many businesses have closed down. It sucks.
I know. I do feel like if there's another pandemic, I wouldn't listen to anything, and then like that will be the one that does kill me. And
I know.
But I'm like, I'm not doing this twice. Like,
no,
you guys.
Sure, we can't be caged up in our houses.
Yeah. So it definitely not. Okay, so now at that moment you went and you got a job at Radford, and so what do you remember about that time? Like, were you kind of thinking about like shutting down your own business at any point and be like, it was just like, okay, this is just like a moment in time where it's weird. There's this virus, whatever, but like, I'm going to go back to it.
Yes, that was always the plan. It was just supposed to be a temporary thing, but here we are 4 years later and I'm still going in because I love it. But yeah, I definitely was like, I need a job in the meantime to get me through whatever period this is going on in the world. So yeah.
Yes. And has that sort of helped you get clients, like your contacts at Radford?
Get clients here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually I don't take Radford clients from home.
Yes.
I shouldn't. I have had some reach out, which if you're a client of mine, like full transparency since I've started there, and you can't get in at Radford, and since I am only there 1 day a week, there's a handful of people that I've taken from home.
Yes.
I don't like poach clients, or that's why I still go there to do those services for those people there. So I try to keep it separate. My Etobicoke clients are all my Etobicoke clients.
Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So that transition, I guess, and it sounds like, so you're going to Rad for 1 day a week. Like, was there, like as the, COVID kind of started to like fade away and stuff, was that shift then more back to like your business in Etobicoke where it's like, you just like, as we were able to open things up, like did business just pick back up to where it was before? Did you have to kind of like get customers all over again, or how did that work?
So I will say it wasn't so I was full-time at Radford. I didn't go from 5 to 1 right away. I slowly started pulling back once I was getting busier at home again. But no, just people literally spreading the word and me posting. I've definitely gotten lucky that there's this one lady, who's very well connected in Etobicoke, and she, told a bunch of her friends, and then one of those friends ended up being what do you call it when you're like in charge of school functions for kids?
I don't
like
know.
When you're like running the social aspect.
Oh,
you know
I don't know. I do know what
you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So that lady ended up coming for a facial, and then she told the whole school. So the last 2 years, I would say, are my busiest years, and I'm thankful for just people talking. They're like, oh, there's this girl, Sarah. So as soon as they go and drop off their kid, they're coming for a facial, and then they can go run their errands and pick up their kid from school. So it's like I'm in a good area where it's convenient, and a lot of my clients are in this pocket, like the Kingsway pocket.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, normally we ask questions kind of the business, but I'm like curious. So like, what are the basics for skincare? If you were telling someone who does nothing for skincare, like what would you, besides, I guess, I mean, you can always go in for a facial, but like, what's an ideal morning routine for skincare for someone putting on like lotion?
First of all, depends on your skin type.
Okay, so it's
you
already.
tell me your skin type.
Yeah.
How do you know? Like what is my skin type?
Okay, when you wash your face
Yeah.
before you put any products on, how does your skin feel? How would you describe it? Tight, dry, normal?
I have absolutely no idea. Normal, I guess.
Okay, so normal. So
Yes.
I would say, like, from a female perspective, like his face isn't like, I think it'd be normal. It doesn't tend to look too
Okay.
dry, but it
Yeah.
doesn't tend to look too oily.
oily.
Like,
Okay, so you're right.
I would say he's yeah.
And
From the
do you get
sisterly
breakouts?
perspective.
Yes.
No, I don't get breakouts. No.
You don't get breakouts. Oh, look at you. Lucky
No.
guy. Okay, so really, and you're someone who does absolutely nothing right now?
No, I do. I was saying hypothetically, an average dude, but I'm like, maybe a little more feminine, I guess. I don't know. I do.
Good. You care about
Yes.
your skin.
Yes, I do have some stuff. Yes.
Okay, so I would say for a typical guy, let's say,
Yes.
if you just want to do a cleanse and a moisturizer, that would be amazing. And you don't need to do it twice a day. You could do it once a day if you're a lazier type of guy, which most are. And I hear a lot of them just use the 3-in-1 Dove all over their face and hair and body. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
So if you could just do a simple cleanser and moisturizer, that's it. I don't like to overwhelm people when they're newer to trying to get their skin somewhere. I like to take baby steps.
Yes. What about sunscreen? Is that as important as for your face?
Well, it's a fun topic. I do love sunscreen. I know a lot of people don't, but after a facial, 100%, I'm definitely putting SPF on you.
Yes.
Do I wear it every single day? No, if I'm being fully honest. There are rays, regardless if it's raining, cloudy, winter, whatever type of weather, there's always the UV rays there. So you should wear sunscreen. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So it's not so imperative then, because
if you're gonna be on vacation and you're gonna be in the sun, yes, 100% wear your sunscreen. You will burn, you will get age spots. It catches up to you later in life. So if it's pouring rain outside and I have to go to the grocery store, am I going to put sunscreen on? No, I'm not.
Okay. So you don't really need
that's
sunscreen.
also my opinion. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
everyone has a different opinion on this. That's just my opinion.
Yes. Okay. So sunscreen is maybe.
Yeah. A question I have, I'm going to interrupt Steven's getting his consultation for his facial.
She said it was free, so.
Yeah, exactly. Question I have, and one of the things we've heard a lot from like different entrepreneurs is that like a lot of people kind of seem to you didn't want to have a boss. They didn't like that element. They liked working for themselves. Yeah. But then the flip side of that is that it can be pretty like lonely and isolating too, like when you work for yourself. So how do you kind of manage it? I know you go into Radford, so like that I would imagine probably helps. But yeah, like how do you kind of like keep that loneliness at bay and kind of manage that aspect? Or are you like, cool, I love being by myself?
I love being by myself.
Yeah.
Because I work with people all the time. I really enjoy my alone time. But when I'm working from home and I have like a full day from home, I'm not lonely. People talk so much. I feel like I'm also a therapist and should be getting paid way more.
Yes.
Like I've had clients that walk in, they're bawling their eyes out, and we sit down for half an hour before we start the treatment. Like that's how I am with all of my clients, honestly. I had recently, obviously I'm not going to say any names, one of my clients came in and told me her full life story. We're like an hour. I'm like, oh, okay, there goes your facial, but we're going to get started an hour later.
Yes.
So I'm not lonely when I'm working from home because I just love talking with people and trying to help where I can.
True.
Me listening to, your husband left you and you're stuck with the kid that you didn't want, I'll listen to you because you need someone. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that does sound like you should get paid more if you're doing that.
I know. I should up my prices.
Yeah. The therapy.
If you're looking for therapy, we're gonna up it.
Yeah.
Yes. So you had mentioned earlier that, you're looking into potentially renting a studio, hiring someone who can help out. Where do you see your business in 5 years from now? Like, what would be the ideal vision of it?
I love that question.
Yes.
And you know what? It's funny because it's always changing. I wanted like this huge, grand place. Now I'm like, I want a small little space. It's like complete opposite.
Yes.
And I think I've learned that from working with people. I'd want a small little kind of loft vibe, cozy vibe, and just 1 or 2 employees and a lot of greenery. I love my plants, a lot of wood. Like describing my perfect place.
Yes.
Very earthy and small and cozy. Little lounge area for people to wait if you arrive early or you want to finish a coffee afterwards. But small little place right in Etobicoke area, the Kingsway area, I would say would be my ideal location.
Yes. Yeah. So having like a nice studio that's kind of in your vision and a few employees. And no, I feel this.
No stairs, lots of natural light.
Yes. No, I feel the same way. I feel like I used to be like, I want to be a billionaire. And then I'm like, oh, that actually seems like a lot of work. And then you end up on the Epstein list because you just lose. So it's like, I don't know if that's worth it. I'd rather just
have more of a private life, right?
Yeah.
Well, and like, I think too. Oh, sorry.
I was just
you're still. I'm trying to pivot away from Epstein now.
The emails are crazy.
So we're gonna put Stephen on mute for a second.
That can get a very interesting conversation.
But no, I think that's super interesting too. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed listening to the people on this podcast is because like I feel like what we see out there is like the $100 million companies and like the people, working like 24/7 and like and it's like, I feel like for the longest time, like, at least for me, like that was like, oh, that's success kind of thing. Like that is what it is. And it's like, I feel like the more people we talk to, it's like, no, success is like building a life that like you love kind of thing. And so like, it's like, you probably, if you really wanted to, you could build a massive studio and have to be managing like 50 employees kind of thing. It's like, but is that the life that you want? And for some people it is, but I think it's like interesting to like also hear like the success stories of like, well, you're probably going to be a lot happier and have like a more well-rounded life with that dream than like the other dream kind of thing.
100%. Yeah. I think having, the type of industry that I'm in, I think a smaller team of people would work best, which to your point, Kelly, I wanted it all. That was a dream for me. And now I'm like, oh, I don't know. A lot. I don't like I would not want to manage people. No. No.
So, and when you look back since 2018, when you started, like, what was the most challenging moment that you can think of?
Most challenging moment. I would say just dealing with all the different aspects, like doing the services, having to follow up with everyone, having to place my orders, make sure I'm all good with my supplies, just kind of like getting used to doing everything because it was all on me. I wasn't working with anyone else, right? So I've definitely mastered that at this point, but I am getting closer to the point where I'm going to need some help soon.
Yes.
So, but I think like if I were to talk to when I was first starting off, my younger entrepreneur self, I would say just one thing at a time. Like if you overwhelm yourself, you're only one person, just do one thing at a time. People can wait. It's not life or death. Just do the most important things to check off your priority list. And that's it. And then you get used to it.
Yeah. And what moment would you say, or moment or thing or whatever that you're most proud of since you started your business?
I would say, looking back now to see how far I've come in the last years, I definitely am proud. I'm proud of myself for where my business is at today.
Yeah, so just growing it and how big it is. Yeah.
Makes me, it's a proud moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
I just want to continue to grow it, and it's going to be great. So I'm excited for what the future holds for Skin by Sarah.
Yes. And if you were speaking to someone who maybe is in the same spot as you, thinking about doing, a skin business, or thinking about starting any sort of business, any sort of endeavor, but they're a little hesitant, what advice would you give to them?
Start small. I think at first you're going to want to probably offer every service, but start small and build your clientele. I would just start there, not overwhelming with anything else. Just start slow, start small. Don't have all these grand expectations, just one thing at a time.
Yeah. Start small. No, that's really
start
good
small
advice.
For sure, because you can really get ahead of yourself. So, and I
Yeah.
know I've been in those moments, and so start small.
Yes, I think it's pretty natural for like entrepreneurs or whatever. They want to like spend all this money on branding. They want to like build up their inventory because they're like, oh, things are gonna be flying off the shelf. And it's in reality, it's like no one knows you exist. No one is gonna like bang on your door. Like, yes.
No, it's so true. You're like, and things have a shelf life too, right? So if you're getting all these products and they're sitting on the shelf and you don't have a lot of clients, which I've had some estheticians reach out and be like, I want to start my business. I want to get this, and this. I'm like, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down, because that's how I was. And you have to take a couple steps back and just focus on getting a clientele. Do you even have an Instagram yet? They'd be like, no. I'd be like, start there.
Yeah.
Seeing people, engage with people, walking around in your neighborhood if you're going to start from home, handing out some cards saying, hey, I'm doing facials. I'm going to give you a deal. Friends and family, your neighborhood, or whatever. Just put yourself out there.
Yeah. Start small. No, that's great advice. That's great advice. Well, we want to give people a chance to find you. So what's the best avenue for them to find you online?
You can Instagram. You can Instagram, DM me.
Yes.
So, Skin by Sarah.
Skin by Sarah. Yes. And then you're also yes. And then you're also at Radford Studios as well.
Yes, which now is called Aurea House. New owner just took over as of January 1st. So nothing's changed in the sense of service-wise. Same thing, salon and everything there, salon and skincare, but it's now called Aurea House.
Gotcha. So, but Skin by Sarah on Instagram would be the most efficient way. Yes. Amazing. Yeah. Yes, that was great. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. It was a pleasure to speak with you, and you shared a lot of really valuable things, and your story is really impressive. So you should be really proud of what you built. It's really cool.
Thank you, and I'm very honored that you guys asked to have me on your podcast. So thank you so much.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thanks. We'll chat soon.
Okay, sounds good.